Hi guys, and welcome back to my Queer View. Today we are going to talk about and watch a clip from SkyNews Australia from about 2 months ago, where they are criticizing Whoppi and The View, which y'all know is my favorite show, in a way that is really dishonest and actually wasn't what she said. So the clip basically is they're discussing a transgender legislator from Montana that was censored and banned from the legislative session over transgender affirming health care, because they had passed a law restricting that. And the comment Whoppi makes during all of this discussion is that these people, these right-wing anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ people, are using their faith to justify this, right? But Whoppi says, I don't know what Bible you're reading, because God was very clear. And Sky News Australia took this to mean that she was saying that, or trying to use the Bible to justify youth getting transition surgeries. Let's be clear. Children under the age of 18 are not getting surgeries. There are very, very, very few. I think it's less than 200 statistically that have had top surgeries, meaning females who have had mastectomies, double mastectomies, but that is, again, very, very, very rare. There are no bottom surgeries happening to trans youth in the United States of America. It's just, it is factually dishonest and a propaganda to state otherwise. But yet, this is what the Republicans are doing. My issue with Sky News is trying to say that Whoppi was trying to use the Bible to justify this when she was not. She was saying that the Bible says that as a parent, you are responsible for your child. As a parent, it is your job to raise your child within your faith, and not to have the state dictate to you what you can and cannot do for your child. And that's the issue that I really have with a lot of the coverage of The View from right-wing sources, is that they want to take a tiny piece of a 7-8 minute discussion and cut it down to 20 seconds and say, this is what she said, this is what she meant, shame on her, when in reality it isn't. You have to view it within context. And so that is my issue with it. I'm going to throw over to the clip from Sky News first, and then we are going to watch the entirety of the clip from The View, so you have the context of what is actually being said here. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything that you do. Check us out on all the social medias if you want to support the channel and help. Cash App and Venmo QR codes are right there. Feel free to do so. Check me out on Patreon as well. I have recently joined Threads, which is the meta version of Twitter. So follow us there as well. Thank you guys. Make sure that you do like this video, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good jazz. Thanks.
Who raised a few eyebrows using the Bible to support the idea of kids getting gender change surgeries. Take a look.
This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide for my child what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, and they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading? Because God was really clear. Very clear.
I would say this is a new low for The View, but it isn't. They've gone way lower before. It's certainly on brand for The View.
On the heels of the outrage over the two black Tennessee lawmakers being temporarily expelled, Republican legislators had stopped. The Montana House of Representatives voted to censure transgender lawmaker Zoe Zephyr for her impassioned plea against a bill that bans transgender affirming treatment for minors. And yesterday, she told the House why she stands by her words. Take a look.
I have had friends who have taken their lives because of these bills. I have fielded calls from families in Montana, including one family whose trans teenager attempted to take her life while watching a hearing on one of the anti-trans bills. When I rose up and said, "There is blood on your hands," I was not being hyperbolic. And when the speaker asks me to apologize, what he is, on behalf of decorum, what he is really asking me to do is be silent when my community is facing bills that get us killed.
Yeah. Now, the House Republicans banned her from the chamber for the remainder of the legislative session, claiming she broke the rules of decorum. But protesters are demanding that they let her speak. Now, what the hell is going on in this country? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what are the rules of decorum?
Well, no. What are the rules that say, I don't like what you're saying, so I'm going to get a whole bunch of people to think like I think, and we're going to ban you from talking. When did that become the law of the land?
Funny you should ask, because I looked it up, and there is no law.
No,
There is no law. There is no law.
The whole point of this country is we have to figure out how to live together. I don't have to agree with everything you agree with. You don't have to agree with everything I agree with. That's why we have two parties. That's why we have these conversations.
And don't you want someone from the transgender community in the legislature to speak to her lived experience? To speak on behalf of her constituents? Because what she was saying is, I am fielding calls from families in Montana. That's the type of representation you need.
It's why women are running. It's why gay folks are running, because people want to be represented. We're all Americans. We all pay taxes. And the day you decide that certain people don't have to pay taxes, I want you to say it out loud. I want you to say, all of you others, you don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to take care of us. You know, we may have a meeting and decide, all the women get together and decide how they feel about it. But my God, this is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide for my child what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, and they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading? Because God was really clear.
Very clear. Very clear.
Oh, well, I was just going to say really quickly, there's obviously rising anti-trans sentiment in this country. It's wrong. There's been a rise of 29% in hate crimes against the trans community. I think that there's conversations that need to be had with people of good faith. I don't know personally where I am on somebody, on minors getting transitioning, but to your point, Whoopi, you actually said it in a very conservative manner. That's for me and when I'm a parent to decide. It's not for the government to decide.
The doctors.
It's for the doctor, the medical community, and the parents to decide. And that's what I don't get is why should that be the state that's deciding it?
Well, apparently we're going to talk about that when we come back. Were you about to say something?
Yes, what I was going to say is jumping off Alyssa's point where she said, you know, and I don't even know where I stand on this. The problem with the issue we're talking about here is it's one step. It doesn't even matter what's being talked about. We are in a democracy where it was one vote for one person, one vote, and our elected representatives. They are shutting this person down, not only doing her job, but as an American. Our First Amendment rights protect not only that right to speak and do her job, but also protest. They came after her one more time and said she was inciting an insurrection, which was very rich. But we looked into it. There was no violence. There was nothing happening. And this country was built on protest. That's why it's protected by that First Amendment. When you look back to the Boston Tea Party, to the civil rights movement, to a women's right to vote, that's what this country is. And we need to be having more conversations. We talk here at this table a lot about not even be able to finish Thanksgiving dinner because we're not talking. Conversation is the last step before violence. And now to shut down the one voice you have, in this house who is transgender is problematic, because I believe everyone should be able to talk, regardless of identity, about every topic.
Well,
but sorry, it is
Unless you're
mandatory.
Joy.
It is mandatory to have the lived experience represented at those tables.
Yeah.
Because it adds a unique part that those conversations cannot be had without.
They don't want to hear it, like in Tennessee.
All I can say, I don't have a lot to say. You've all said it very well. They're right out there with their homophobia, their transphobia, their anti-Semitism, their racism. It's not even undercover anymore.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out that since 2015, hate crimes, ever since he came down that escalator, since that day in June, hate crimes have increased more than 80%. 2021 had the highest number of reported hate crimes on record since the FBI began publishing data.
Yeah.
So he is inciting, his party is inciting, and we have to be vigilant. I don't know what else to say about it.
There's one more thing
It's
to
horrible.
say. It really doesn't matter how I feel about this issue.
Right.
It has only to do with how parents feel, how they want to deal with their children, if they're young children. I have no say in how you raise your kid. I don't know what your life is, living with a child who says, I'm in the wrong body. And here now, you've shut down the conversation for help. This is not your job. Your job is not to shut people down or out. Your job is to listen to what they need and move forward. Physicians, same thing. Do no harm. Go ahead.
By the way, I feel like some on the right are acting like the trans movement is some new phenomenon. I remember 20 years ago, Barbara Walters covering it on ABC, doing an interview with a young person.
On this show.
Yeah.
It was on this show.
This has been around throughout
No,
society.
it's not a new issue. Stop
Not a new
popping
issue.
stuff up and actually go and do your job. Let everybody else do their job. We'll be right back.